What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel and happy Friday. We're here today for another episode of the Dragon Empires, a 5-minute tour. I'm recording this at 4:04 p.m. or 4 minutes after the Shokuro video has gone live. Let's slide over to my YouTube channel. Let's just see, do we have any requests yet? We do not. Alright, so I'm picking this one. Today's episode of the Dragon Empires, a 5-minute tour, is all about the Kingdom of Flowers, Hwanggot, which I wanted to talk about after the Bachwan video. We'll do it here now. If you guys have any requests, I promise by this point I will have seen them in a week, and maybe I'll go a little slower next week, and actually they matter, and they'll be right up at the top of that list. Today, of course, this episode of the Dragon Empires, a 5-minute tour, was brought to you in part by Joseph Harvilla. Thanks for all your support and your long-time friendship, my well and truly friend. You're the best. Now, let's dive in. If any land in the Dragon Empires can be regarded as a bastion of peace, that land would be Hwanggot. Through a combination of skilled diplomacy and open arms, the Tianhuans who live here have long managed to maintain their independence from external rule. The greatest exception was, of course, their annexation by Lung Hua, when attempts at diplomacy failed to prevent the imperial machine from attempting to take over. The leaders ceded control without a fight. Yet the people of Hwanggot neither rebelled nor held grudges against their leaders for this. Strikes many as miraculous in its own right, but to the Tianhuans, the prevention of violence by whatever means necessary is hardly a miracle. It's merely the responsibility of all things given the gift of life in the first place. Under Lung Hua's rule, resource-rich Hwanggot was plundered for the comfort and delight of distant aristocrats, and the so-called Kingdom of Flowers has only recently managed to work its way back up to its pre-invasion status as one of Tian Sha's greatest producers of artwork, exotic foodstuffs, sweets, tea, and opium. Fun! Many Tian historians have pondered the riddle of how this relatively small nation has been able to defy the might of empires and maintain its traditions and patriotism, even under years of external rule, pointing to the amazing loyalty of its people, the cleverness of its defenses, and the skill of its diplomats. While all these have factored into the nation's tenacity, it's the incredibly distinctive culture of Hwanggot and the unity that it fosters that should be given credit. The arts are honored here to an extent that far exceeds the honor most other nations place upon their military traditions. Propagandists from Lung Hua were known to wryly observe that the artistic qualities of an archer's form are valued more by Huans than whether or not the archer actually hits what it's shooting at. But it's the harmonious union of creative endeavor and practical matters that's made the kingdom a bulwark against foreign powers. The current dynasty in Hwanggot of Nuri has reigned for the past 2 centuries, navigating the kingdom through Lung Hua's dramatic demise and ushering in an era of increased prosperity. Queen Hyun Un-suk has ruled Hwanggot for over 50 of those years, and at the age of 78 is in the process of ceding control to her eldest daughter and heir, Princess Hyun Gonji. However, as the aged queen slowly recedes into the background, there is some concern that the transition following her inevitable death may not be as smooth as she might have hoped, because Princess Gyeonju seems strangely restless and aggressive for a member of that family's line. Rather than adopt the traditional role of diplomacy against Hwangot's greatest current enemy, Bachwan, the princess instead has ordered the erection of a network of mammoth stone fortresses along the Shuaido River, the border the two countries share. Government agents work night and day to explain and disprove rumors that the Hwans have been captured by Bachwan and that Bachwan agents have infiltrated Hwanggot, with these captives tortured and even being transformed into undead assassins to be sent back home to spread misery. Now, of course, when we talked about Bachwan, we identified Ho Chi Minh and the Vietnamese. Basically, we're seeing the other side of the conflicts of the middle half of the 20th century. Here in Hwanggot, we're talking South Korea, we're talking Hanoi, we're talking the parts of the world that traditionally were held by capitalist factions. Now, we could get into a huge debate all over the comments about political philosophy and stuff, but another thing we see here that we don't often talk about in our settings in this game is we see a place where the people are capable of defending themselves, surely, but also the people don't care about fighting so much as they care about the arts. This place has Shaylin written all over it, and of course, under a different couple of names, the Mistress of Chrysanthemums is in fact worshipped here in the Dragon Empires. So if I were to GM here, not only is there that constant threat of bad guys crossing the proverbial DMZ, which is being fortified as the players speak, kicking off a war and burning all these beautiful things to the ground, also you have a place where the artistic characters can function. I'm not talking about the bard who likes to inspire some courage. I'm not talking about the person who has, for whatever reason, craft paintings on like a witch or something and just wants to doodle. I'm talking about a character background, which I guess that witch fits in super well. A lot of my characters, though it's kind of a secret because it never comes up, will have some kind of perform skill, usually with stringed instruments, to put a piece of me and my metal days into that character. And here you can see a picture of me at the last show I ever played, opening for Capture the Crown at the Granada in Lawrence, Kansas. Oh, the good old days. But anywho, Hwanggot is a place where they can flourish, but also you can have a traditional narrative alongside the non-traditional. Imagine if Iron Fang Invasion took place here instead of in Nirmathos. Give somebody in Cowling that big, powerful plot item that lets the Iron Fang Legion do terrible things. Literally, you could just one-to-one convert it, and you have a beautiful backdrop to burn to the ground amidst the fires of war. But what do you guys think about Hwanggot? Have you played here? Have you GM'd here? And how do you guys feel about non-traditional campaigns? Take away the combat and add the pretty stuff in your worlds. Let me know down in the comments. Of course, we'll keep that conversation going. And thank you guys once again so much for watching. That's all we have for today. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Do you have a request for this series? Comments right now. Put it there. It'll drop in the next couple of weeks, unless nobody commented on the Shokuro video, in which case it drops next Friday.